Hi, hello, welcome back to What the Base! What the friggity base. Yeah, so this is the level I've been working on that I'm making a new episode of every single week. And I'll admit, this week is a little bit harder than usual because I was actually sick for Monday and Tuesday, which is kind of annoying. I kind of miss being in school where being sick was awesome because you can just kind of like not have to go to school. But now it's just annoying because now I have less time in the week to do the stuff I need to do. So yeah. Anyway, welcome back. So this is what we actually got done in the previous episode. And as you might be able to hear under my beautiful singing, it's time to start working on the drop, which I'm actually really keen for. So I think for a start, we probably don't want to start off on the ground here particularly. So I'm going to start it maybe in the air over here, and I'll use a teleport portal to just get the player up there. Oh, that had a really weird pulsing effect, which actually, okay, somebody told me about this in a previous video. If I select the portal, do edit group, extra, where is it? No effects, yeah. I think if I turn on no effects, that means it won't do the background pulse thing, right? Yeah, no background pulse. Okay, cool. I kind of want to do it a little bit earlier so we have a little bit more time into the transition, and then I'll put down like a 3 times speed maybe. I don't want to jump straight into 4 times, I don't think. And then I want to have a little bit of transition time just so you like don't have a blind click in there, right? Maybe it kind of goes pew, and then you click a yellow orb there that is like a late timing perhaps. Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right. And then I kind of want to do like flow-ish type gameplay where we have like, I don't know, maybe it goes into UFO here and then you click through a blue portal here perhaps. That's actually really boring if I just do like do. I don't really like that. And then so maybe you go straight into a ball part here. Like that. That's kind of cool. Maybe, okay, what if I do UFO, right? But then I'll have a blue pad there and then I can make that like a... Okay, I don't know if that's gonna work consistently. I just don't like that UFO timing. It's inconsistent. It depends a lot on how far over you are in the ball and I don't really love that, so I might get rid of that. Okay, so as you may be able to tell, I was really struggling to build the gameplay here. I was kind of building a little bit, realizing it wasn't working too well, changing it, realizing that wasn't working too well, deleting it, putting it back. It was all over the place. You know what it's like sometimes, brain no worky, but eventually I got something I was decently happy with. All right, well, we don't have much gameplay here yet, but I kind of want to start decorating this, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's like barely any gameplay, but I don't know. I kind of want to do it in a bit of a different way to what I normally do, where I like build a whole part of gameplay and then decorate that. I kind of want to do it like bit of gameplay, bit of deco, bit of gameplay, bit of deco, whatever. And hopefully it'll look less like a Tried collab. Can you tell I'm trying to like make it so it doesn't look like a Tried collab? I don't know. I feel like doing it structure by structure could be quite cool. So I want to try that. So I want to first of all start off by disabling these gradients. I think that's a good first step. Now I want to make the background color something else. And what was the last colors we did? Ooh, purple, red, and pink. Wow, who could have guessed, dude? Well, I think it's going to be shifting a lot anyway, so I might go... Nah, let's just go safe. You can design stuff and then do some wacky pulses. That's kind of what I want to do with this, I think. And also, you know what? Because we can... Yeah, look at this. I can change the background. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was playing Karkano and apparently uses this background, which is weird, but like also really cool. I don't know. I think that background just looks really cool. I like it. I never noticed how like awesome that looks. And in terms of the ground, I do actually want to use the ground quite a bit, so I'll change the ground as well to something. And then I'll just place down a couple more triggers to like reset stuff that we've done, right? All right, so now that we have that, I guess it's time to actually start designing stuff. So I think what I want to go with is just some like basic blocks that kind of copy the background-ish, I guess. But I want to focus a lot on pulses, because that's kind of what I'm decent at, I think. I think I'm pretty good with pulses, right? And something that I really want to capture, I want to see if I can find it. Okay, so look at these. Oh my God. Look at this little object here. If I just go through the thing, look at how that pulses. Oh, it is so nice. I don't know what I did to make it look that nice. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy paste one of these up here, and then I'm going to dissect this and like... Where am I getting called from? Hello?
Hello, is that Mitchell?
No, wrong number. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna reverse engineer my own colors here just to see like what I've done. So something that pulses to white and has a glow object over it looks really, really nice on its own. And then plus that underneath gives it that nice little bit of hue shift in there, which looks really, really nice. Okay, interesting. It's a great way to create. Just take stuff that you did on accident and work out why it works. Well, let me try and do that maybe with this block in here. Let's try and come up with a design that does that maybe. All right, so I'm gonna spare you the trial and error error because I'm really not that good with colors. I've gotten a hell of a lot better over time, but I still really struggle to just know what colors are going to work well with each other. So I spent ages trying to get just a basic block to look nice, and I couldn't really do it. So I put a white object in there as well. It's better. It's still kind of not great though. And so I got rid of it, put a corner glow in instead, and just messed around with the pulses and colors until I came to a realization. Ooh, I've just realized that it looks a billion times better when you offset the pulses. Yeah, okay. The colors are still a bit goofy, but it does look a lot nicer when you do that. And then maybe if I even copy paste that over here and then do a different pulse that goes to like a green or something stupid. I do like that. Okay. And then adding like some form of object that pulses white in the center could be what we need as well. Yeah, dude. Okay. I really, really like that. It's just a little bit slow is my only problem. If I just shorten these to like 0.05 and then make that like 0.2 fade out maybe, and then just select all of these and rotate them like this so that they're all a bit closer together. And then I'll make them all part of a group, spawn trigger, and then I'll just make them a spawn loop. And I know the create spawn loop button exists, all right? I don't know how it works and I don't want to learn how it works, okay? I'd rather do this. Okay, what if I take this a step further, select all of this glow, put it on 140, and then rotate that glow. I'll just do an instant 90-degree rotation and of course make that spawn trigger and then make that part of the spawn loop. That looks like a crazy block. That is a crazy looking block. I kind of like that actually. I kind of want to do something a little bit different than just a hexagon with a basic block on the back. I'll copy the values of that and then do maybe some form of pixel art block in the background because I can't stop myself. I'll just do like that one maybe. Ooh, that is a really nice looking block, dude. That looks sick actually. I'm going to get rid of the hexagon and make it just like probably like a square instead, I think would look better. Or even, instead of a block like that, what I can do is I can make it like some form of connector so that if I want to like make this across multiple structures, that's how we can connect the blocks together. Yeah, okay. So like, oh dude, that looks really nice. Oh, I'm actually super proud of that. Wow. And then just to make this structure a little bit more interesting, I would like to do a thing or two with a couple spikes. So it's a bit of a bigger structure with that resting on it. And then maybe I can do that as kind of a theme with this, with the structuring. So I'll do like a bigger structure going down there. Maybe have some form of like slopage connecting it up like this to make it look like a support almost. Just have some fun with the structuring, you know? Good structuring can absolutely carry a level and I might need it, so. Okay, you know what I kind of want to do? See this white pulse here? Kind of want to do the same with ground 2. Ooh. All right, so now I want to come up with a design for these objects here, I guess, which are just kind of bigger box structures, I guess. Like there's not too much I want to do with these because I kind of want these to like not be the main focus of it. Oh, I'm tempted to use like these blocks, dude. You know what? I've been really good so far. I haven't used these yet. Let's use them. Go on. Got to rely on them at some point, you know? Got to use them. So do them. I'll do some good old-fashioned backing blocks as well. But I want to at least do something interesting with these. So I might do 142 here and then use an area trigger. Go figure, who could have guessed? An area trigger? Me? I'm not super happy with that. It doesn't really, I don't know, it hasn't turned out how I want it to particularly. I don't know what to do with this part, man. Okay, wait, I've had an idea. I've had a brainwave. Okay, what object do I want to do this with? These could be interesting if done right. Okay, so if I grab these, I'll color them later. I'll give them a group and then make them go all down there. And you will not believe the type of trigger I'm going to use for this. Yeah, so you can kind of see that effect there. I think that's kind of neat. I want to kind of do some easing, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know how I could do that, but... Oh, there is an easing. Now it doesn't work. Yeah, that looks exactly how I want it, dude. Okay, now I can color these, and I kind of want to do them not quite rainbow, but not too far off, to be honest. Maybe I can even do an area tint trigger as well, and have it tint to like a little bit more of like a hue shifted type color. So let's go here. I'll copy the color of the background and do like a hue plus even 35. Oh, yeah, okay, that's what I'm looking for. I had to just add more to the hue. Yeah, I like that. Does put a lot of focus on that part, but I think that's okay. I think that's all right, because I think that's quite neat, actually. I think that's cool. And you know what it is, above all else? Above all else, it's pretty goofy, not gonna lie. And you would not believe what I'm trying to do with this level. I'm trying to make it goofy. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. When I called this series, like, the goofy level, I kind of called it that because I didn't really know what else to call it, in all honesty. I didn't want to just call it, like, just building a 2.2 2.2 level because that's kind of boring. I kind of already did that. So building a Goofy 2.2 level. Sure, why not? All right, so watch this. That section. Just that section right there took a whole hour. Yeah, it's kind of goofy how long it took me to build a couple seconds of gameplay and just a few structures, but oh well, that's all I did for day 1. And before we get into day 2, I want to ask that if you're enjoying the video so far, please consider bonking right into that subscribe button. Did I make this entire segment just to ask you to subscribe? Maybe, but it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, anyway. All right, so it's the next day and I've had a couple really cool ideas since then, or potentially really cool. I don't know if it's actually going to be cool, but I think it could work. I think it could work. So the first thing I want to do is probably design this structure. Yeah, that's probably a good start. I do want to have some slopes going down like that. I think could quite work well. Oh, okay. What I could do for these slopes, actually, I've just had an idea. I'm going to first of all use, where are they? These ones here. I use these in Spaghetti Cyborg a little bit, and I want to give them some of like the wacky pulsing colors, right? So these have pulsing groups, don't they? I really got to start doing these pulses on colors instead of groups because colors are just a lot easier to work with, I feel like. Okay, I've recreated those pulses on channels, so now I can go in here and I can just do like 24 on that one, and then I should be able to go to detail, do 23, and hopefully that'll like be some interesting pulses. Yeah, it's not super interesting though. What if I then copy paste it and then put it on like black and white blending perhaps, like that, and then I'll give that the same group as those so it kind of pulses behind it. Yeah, that's a little bit more interesting. Got to incorporate all 3, you know what I'm saying? All right, so if I do that for like going all the way up like so, and then I guess do it on the inside here as well just by flipping the slopes like that. Is that too much? I think that pulsing's like a little bit too much. I don't know. Maybe what I can do is if oh man. So you can see that pulses to white, but what I can do is I can go in the HSV here and I can lower the brightness here, and then that'll make it not pulse as bright. Yeah, so it's still kind of flashy, but it's not quite as intense. It's not as in your face, right? Is there any more details I want to add with that? I don't think so. Maybe just some like glow. I wasn't too sure about the pink color at first, but I actually kind of like it. I think it adds an interesting flair to it, you know? Well, now that we have that design, we can now finally copy paste it over to here. And then for this section down here, I'll do one of these structures, but a really skinny one maybe. And then I can just do like maybe 3 wide ones of these. Ooh, this is an interesting structure. It looks kind of goofy. Fitting for the level, I suppose. It's cool though, I like that. All right, let's get rid of these blocks then, and then I'll do the same thing on the top. Copy paste, flip that over and chuck it up there, and then that kind of creates this symmetrical structure, right? And just to make it look a little bit nicer, I might even chuck like a full saw blade, maybe even half space that up. And now what I want to do, what I really want to do, is I want to use a reverse trigger. Oh my god. Am I going to regret this? Probably. I'm probably going to regret this, but that's why I haven't added more structures here yet, because I want to use a reverse trigger. So I guess we just need to chuck a reverse trigger in here. That's cool. And then what I want to do is I want to shift this structure up. So I want to move it up and out of the way. So let's give all of that a group of 143 and then just move that up when you get like here. Dude, I really like that. I really like that. Okay. Maybe I'll chuck like a yellow orb in there that appears after you get there. And I want you to land on top of this structure and then jump off. Like maybe there'll be a couple spikes here or something. Chuck like a green portal up there. And I want that to be visible from like when you're here. So it's like, what's going on there? And then put another reverse trigger. Okay. So the way that these work with like ordering them is you want to go onto edit group here. I want this to be order 1. Or no, it needs to be order 0. And then this needs to be order 1, just like so. And I'm going to chuck this on channel 2 as well, because I'm going to go into here, edit object. Is it not an edit object? Okay, I think the reverse trigger is actually kind of buggy. I think you want to use the arrow trigger instead, which is this guy. So I'll put one there, and then I'll chuck one there, and then this. Yeah, so this is where you can change the channel. So I want to change this to channel 1, which essentially means that if a trigger is in channel 1, it'll only activate after you've hit this reverse trigger. And then I'll give this channel 0 and order 0, and then this will be order 1, channel 1, I guess. Yeah, see how that works? Okay. And then I'll put a dash orb there, maybe. This is so weird. I've not messed with this kind of gameplay much at all. That's actually cool. I actually like that gameplay a lot. Yeah, so I made it move up again, so it's like a little bit better. Okay, so now that we have that, we can start to actually build a few more structures around this place. So I think first things first, I kind of want to connect up some of these structures like this, just with these slopes that we came up with, just because I think they look really cool. And I think we could do with like an extra structure up here, perhaps. I don't want to do just like boring structuring for this though. Like I feel like these block structures are a little bit boring, I'll admit. So I don't want them to take up too much like screen real estate, you know? And then maybe I can chuck a little guy here with a spike on it, and then maybe connect it with some of these as well. I don't know. I'm just trying to do some like kind of unique and interesting structuring. Is it actually unique and interesting? I don't know. I hope so. Yeah, that looks nice actually. Okay. Oh, thank God. I was actually getting a little bit worried, I'll admit. Like when I was building this, I'm like, oh, it's not coming together like super how I wanted it to. But looking at that little bit now, oh, I'm actually happy with it. Okay, thank the Lord. Don't know why I had to clap as well while saying that, but I don't care. I'm just happy. You should have faith in yourself. You should trust in the process. But yeah, that's kind of hard to do sometimes. I don't know. Now, something I want to do next is I want to stop you from being able to hit this red orb here. And the way I'm going to do that, I think, is by using some form of a force field. And I think what could look really, really cool here, actually, is this thing. There's like an actual force field object, which I think is kind of sick. Is it, or is it like a lava object? I honestly don't know, but I like it either way. And I did say I wanted to use more animated objects. Oh, that does remind me actually. Where is it? I feel like I need to add a bunch to the brightness here. Oh, that did it. That did it. Dude, these pulsing groups are absolutely carrying this level. Holy. Okay, well, we've got those now. Anyway, this force field is looking kind of lame now. What if I flip it? Would that look weird or cool? Ooh, with the right coloring, it could look cool because this is on white blending, remember? So yeah. Oh, yeah, that's neat. I like that. Okay. And then I can even go ahead and do like the classic glow laser thing where you like, you know, make a glow laser. Make that 24 so it only pulses on where the... Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that. What we could also probably do is use some of these to kind of connect these kind of balls of energy. So what if I just do something like this? It's so goofy looking, but I actually kind of like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think at this point, I should probably start doing some like orb design to bring it in together, and then we'll work on maybe a background and... Oh, that's right. I have a cool foreground idea. I'll do that in a second though. Let's do orb design first. What if I do something with these? Do like that type of a thing? Yeah, so that pulse is green. And then if I copy paste that, scale it down by just a little bit and then make that the other one. Yeah. And then I'll do some like rotating bits around. I do a spinning club or two. You can never go wrong with the spinning club. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little ticking hand, maybe even two of them. These arrows feel really out of place, so I'm going to get rid of those. But I do like the other bits. I do like these. And they're cool, but I feel like it does maybe need something else. But also, I don't want it to be too intrusive because that's like right there, right? Maybe I'll do the same thing I did with the other bits and then just put some glow maybe over the top if I can do that, yeah? Yeah, I like that. I think that makes it fit in a lot nicer with the rest of the level, which is good. Because that's just my goal with the orb design, is to make it feel like the orbs fit in with the level, right? Okay, cool. I'm just realizing what makes this part feel a little bit off though. And that's the fact that there's no background pulses. I have not changed the background a single time in this part. What am I doing, man? Oh my God. I do like this background color, but I do want to like shift it around a bunch, right? How does that look with all of those? It looks a little bit goofy, I will admit. Maybe instead of doing that, I'll pulse it to that. So do like a 0.05 fade in and a 0.3 fade out. It's barely noticeable, the fade in. It's not noticeable at all when I don't set the color, but it's barely noticeable, but it does make a slight difference, right? And then when it goes, wow. Okay, stupid noises are not for me to make today. Holy, okay. But when it goes, wow, I want to make it like do a slow fade in of like 0.3, a hold of like 0.5, maybe a fade in of 0.2 and fade out of 0.2 to like the current background, but just make it like a little bit more pink and a little bit brighter, like that maybe. I think that'll make it look a lot more alive, because I was wondering why like some of the structures just were feeling really boring. That's probably why, dude. Yeah, that feels so much cooler. Oh my God, how did I not know? How did I not notice? All right, nice. Well, I'm actually really happy with the deco in this part so far. Well, this first part, I'm really happy with it. I think I need to extend that same sort of style further on here. Oh, I have an idea first though, hang on. In order to indicate that this actually sends you backwards, I want to put like an arrow here that when you approach it, it rotates around that way, and then that'll kind of indicate that, hey, you're gonna be going the other way, broski. I seem to remember it be Wallsy or Audio or someone, I don't know, some creating YouTuber. They used a particle trigger to make arrows, so I kind of want to do something like that. What arrow texture do I want to use? There's like this one, and then there's like this one, and then there's this one. I could even use a triangle if I wanted. Ooh. Oh, I could make the... Oh, okay, wait, hang on. I think you can do radius mode, right? Yeah, where I can do end radius larger, so it emits particles like that. I'll do the angle plus or minus 180, so it goes around in a circle like that. I'll make them a lot bigger, and you can see that like emits particles that like you're gonna be rotating around, brother, just so you know. Start it off as pink and then kind of make it fade to green. Yeah, I really like that actually. That's a really cool way of indicating it. Okay, I like that. Hell yeah, dude. Okay. I do also want to do the arrow thing though. And I don't think I'm going to do that with particles because rotating around the particles might look a little bit strange. What I can probably do though is give these a couple of the pulsing groups and then that'll make them look good. I can't help myself with the pulsing groups now. I really can't. I put a hexagon there with background blending, but a little bit darker. And yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. And then I can grab these, give them 146 and then just make them rotate around when you get there. I wanted to go over the top, so maybe negative 180. And then I'll do like a back in transition maybe. That's so goofy. Maybe scale the arrow itself up a little bit, but other than that, I'm really, really happy with how that's turned out. Okay. And what I might do as well, just to make that even more clear that you're about to like flip around, is I'll go ahead and build a structure that's kind of like enclosing this, but then also like there's no escape. So I'll put like a spike there. I'll have some slopes that kind of go up like this maybe, and into kind of a similar structure we have over like here, but different a little bit, right? That's so stupid. I'm not doing that. But having you jump off there would be cool. I just need to do something a little bit more interesting with the gameplay. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do, similarly to when I built like these first parts, is I'm just going to fill in a bunch of space with a bunch of structures just to make it look a little bit nicer. Maybe add in a saw blade or two, a couple of these little guys, you know, just all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this looks really messy right now. Don't worry about it. I've added a few more structures around the place, as you can maybe hopefully see. And you can see that structure there kind of shifts out of the way when you get past it, and then that leads into the dash orb where I'm gonna have some spikes like up here. Dude, these green lines are so all over the place. Oh my god. 2.2, man, 2.2. It's gonna look like I haven't done much because it's literally just this part right here, but I have done a decent amount of stuff in this episode, I think. Saying that like we're done. No, we're not done yet. So I think something that I want to do is I want to add some ground spikes in here just because these are the lines that you see in the UFO portal and you never see below them. So I want to like fill this space in with some ground spikes. I think it could look quite neat. And for that, I'm thinking possibly, I don't know actually, I don't know. I might just do some like light colored lava, could be interesting. Brightness up for both of these and then do the pulsing ones, maybe even just one of the pulsing ones. Yeah, actually no, I'll do two. And of course we need to do like the bright white one as well, so let's just chuck you, boom, 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 like that maybe. Yeah, that kind of looks weird though, I don't really like that. I'll do what RobTop did and just scale this on the X times, not quite times 4, but times 2. RobTop did that in Dash, I think, and it looks really nice. I do really like that. And then I'll do that kind of as like a more subtle background bit, so it kind of gives it something solid to build off of, right? If I grab one of these slopes and then just warp it so it's like, whoa. Have a couple of them sticking out could be interesting. If I give them the 138. Yeah, that looks really cool actually. I like that. Okay, so we do need to decorate these spikes here, and I also need to decorate these saws, do some form of saw design. But before I do that, I have an interesting idea that I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Yeah, so my idea that I had, sorry, I got sick voice a lot more today for some reason. But yeah, the idea that I had was essentially to make like a foreground gradient that goes over the top of everything. And the really cool thing about the gradient trigger is that you can actually change the blending mode. So normally blending in GD is only additive, but in this you can do multiply and invert, which make for some really wacky effects. And honestly, it kind of worked. I tried stacking a few of them and making them move and all that kind of stuff, but I just wasn't really happy with it. It could have been cool, but it just didn't really fit the vibe of the part that I was going for, and I just didn't really think it worked. I think I'm just gonna disable them for the time being. I might come back to them if I want to, but I don't know. All right, well, you know what? To make myself feel better after that failure, okay, failure is a little bit harsh, but I want to try and do a saw blade design because you know what? Saw blade designs, they're pretty fun, you know? They're pretty fun to do. I want to use some of these like energy balls in them. Make the base black blending, so it's just the saw blade like that. You know I like doing that. And the detail, I can probably give one of the pulsing groups even. Make that rotated a custom like 80 maybe? Copy paste, scale it down, and then do negative 80 instead, so it's going the opposite direction, and then I'll make that the other pulsing one like that. Yeah, I think I also want to make like a bit of a stronger, not a stronger, just like another base thing that like kind of shows where the saw is always, right? It's very energy feeling, like there's not much solid to it, which I don't know if I love, to be honest. We need something solid that's not blending in it. Maybe not that, but if I do one of these even, scale it up, and then if I do the same thing where I make the outside black blending, I'll make this go well behind and then do like a rotation of like 30, something real slow, and then just make the inside like black or something. Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool. Instead of doing black though, I might actually just keep that object color so you can still see it. I think the white is like almost a little bit like obtrusive there. Is that because I scaled that up? Oh, there's literally a big one and I scaled up a small one. I'm an idiot. All right, I'm pretty happy with that saw blade. I think what we can probably also do is once again, reuse this little design here and then use like this in here as well to kind of, I don't know, connect it up to the block, right? I'll warp it so it's not quite as like steep of an angle. Yeah, that looks really cool actually. Oh, I like that. Hell yeah. All right, nice. Well, I'm going to replace that saw down there with this as well then. Now, something else I have just realized, and I've put the orb deco there, but there's actually an invisible orb right here, or a toggled off orb that gets toggled on when you hit this. And I want to do some form of animation to like, where it like shoots something at it. Yeah, like that's kind of cool. If I do like that and then warp that a little bit as well, so that shoots at the orb when it does that. So if I do animate on trigger here, is there like, is it in the animate trigger? Wait, hang on. Oh, that actually works. Wait, hang on. That's cool. I really like that actually. Okay. It's funny with 2.2 because there's so many things where it's like, oh, I don't know how this works. I don't know how to use this. And then it just like is really intuitive and easy. All right, cool. Now with that done, I think I want to do these spike animations here, which this pillar is a little bit in the way. I do have to admit, I might just 5, 10, 15, 20. So for this, I think I want to do like some spike design going up and down like that. And I want these to be like white blending all round. Maybe not quite like fully white. Maybe I'll lower the brightness for that a little bit. So yeah, they're like a bit like that. That's kind of neat. And then maybe I can do some that are like literally just white like that and then chuck them on the inside. I think that's neat. I think that works. And then I want those to like appear as you go along it. So you're gonna think I'm crazy. This is like a crazy thing that I never do, right? I'm gonna give these 160 and then use an area trigger. I'm gonna use area fade this time though. So length of like literally 30 blocks and then from opacity 0 to opacity 1. The opposite. Yeah, like that type of thing I think would be quite neat. I think that works pretty well. Now I gotta somehow, some bloody how, work out how to transition out of this part. I gotta get through there somehow, and I don't know how, I'm gonna be real. Maybe change into a wave even or something. Ooh, do some form of a click pattern like that where you have to go up there could be kind of cool. If I chuck a saw blade like there, maybe. Some form of structure that goes here, and then maybe a slope that goes up like this. I don't know how I'm going to transition into having any of this, by the way. We'll work it out. And these don't have any hitboxes yet, but I can give that a hitbox. Okay. I think as well, I do need to tweak a bit of the gameplay because this UFO part is like comedically easy. I'd like to force you to really go close to that somehow. Maybe what I could do is if I could get away with making those full spikes instead, right? And then instead of moving this up by like a bunch of blocks, I just move it up by a few. What if I make this whole bottom structure move up as well? Yeah, I like that a lot actually. Okay. My only issue is this click here, because this click is like incredibly out of sync, which I don't love, to be honest. Yeah, I like that click pattern a lot more. That's a lot nicer of a click pattern. Okay. That works, that works. I'll have to do some form of like animation to make those appear. It's all well and good to have good deco and cool, unique concepts and interesting structures, but if the gameplay sucks, then it's not fun, you know? Ooh, okay. I've had another interesting idea with the gameplay. What if I go down here? You have to do a couple clicks right there where you go like da da and then go up. The double click is a little bit inconsistent. I don't love it, to be honest. I do want to make you land on this platform as a cube and then jump off, though. I think that could work quite well. I just want to do that in a bit more of an interesting way, I think. Maybe I can do some more slopes going down like this, and then chuck some spikes on the edge like this, and then I can make you go like do like that. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I'm really happy with that gameplay. Okay, nice. Oh, getting some gameplay I'm happy with in this level is so satisfying. You have no idea, dude. All right, so I've gone ahead and tidied everything up a little bit, just made it a little bit better, you know. And I actually discovered that the saw in the wave part is actually in the exact same position it starts off in. So you can see like this first section, the saw doesn't move, but I move the things, and then the saw moves up with it, which I think is kind of cool. Oh, that's a goofy looking thing. So the ground spikes don't continue there, and that doesn't move up with it. Yeah, so because there are a bunch of movements and stuff, there are a lot of like little bits like this where the deco would just cut off randomly, or just something weird would be with the movements or whatever. Like, there are a lot of little details to fix like that, so I'm gonna be cutting out a lot of those, but trust me, there were so many polishing things I had to do. All right, and now I think we're pretty much on the home stretch for this. Oh wait, I still need to do a background. What I've found is really good for a background is you kind of want to encapsulate what's going on in the foreground in a background and kind of make it interesting and unique, right? An example where I did this really well, in my personal humble opinion, is in Spaghetti Cyborg. Still hasn't been rated, by the way, please. The slopes match the slope of like the foreground elements, and like the movements just add a little bit to it and make it look a little bit nicer. But yeah, I want to do kind of a background like that. If I could like make the background kind of point in different directions depending on which way you go, that would be really cool. What if I do some sort of structure using some slopes like so, right? They kind of create these arrow-ish things. I don't know if I fully want like arrows necessarily, but like they would create this sort of like zigzaggy structure like this. But I think what I want to do is I actually want to select this and scale it down by just a little bit, not much, just a bit. And then so that way it kind of creates these arrows, right? Even though it kind of looks like a zigzaggy structure, it also looks like some arrows. And then I can have them flip directions. Could be interesting. How would I do that? I guess with the scale trigger. So I'll chuck these on B5, of course, because these need to be behind absolutely everything. And they need to be a lot less bright. They need to be kind of blending into the background, as you can see there. But I want to do something extra with it. I feel like it's a little bit boring if it's just like that. I still have the Spaghetti Cyborg song in my head, so I'm like trying to work out how it would work with that song. No, that's not the song that we're using. I didn't realize how much like I actually do focus on song representation. That's good. I'm working out how to be a good creator. No way. Maybe what I can do is have some form of structure that kind of goes up like this and nestles into that. Give them a bit of a hue shift so they stand out a little bit. Yeah. And then I want to go ahead and I want to repeat that design at some point as well. But how many blocks do I want in between? Maybe 3 would work? And then I can sort of scale this up to like 3 times. Goes in the center of that. Paste the color and everything. And then we can copy paste that across a little bit more and make that kind of a custom background. We can move it as a background as well. Yeah, and so you can kind of see how that moves as a background, right? Honestly, it's a little bit obtrusive. I might lower the brightness even more to like 0.8. It just felt like it was overpowering like the arrow design and stuff, which I didn't really like this over here. Okay, now for the scary part. Oh, the scary part. What I'm going to do to make this work is I'm going to first of all select one row of these things. I'll give that a group of 168, just its own unique group. And then I'll place a new object here. We don't even need to hide it actually, because it'll be above the thing, right? And then we want to use a scale trigger where we go 168 around 169, and then we want to scale Y by nothing, because the Y scale will essentially mean like it'll scale in that direction like so, which we don't want. We want it to scale in that direction and kind of flip around. And so the way we can do that is we can make it go to X scale 0, but you can't go to 0. You have to go to like 0.1 or something, like 001, because for some reason going to 0 just doesn't work. Yeah, so you can kind of see how they all like kind of squish in like that. And then what I also need to do when it's like that is I need to rotate it by 180 degrees instantly, because fun fact about the scale trigger, you can't do negative numbers. If I try and do this to -1, wait, it works. Wait, since when did -1 work? What? I literally tried that the other day, I swear. Maybe you can't on mobile? I think I was trying to build on mobile. I don't know. Anyway. Wow, so that works. Cool. And I think what I want to do halfway through that is I want 168 to move up by 20, I think. Because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that'll make it so it actually lines up. All right, well, now what I can go ahead and do is just delete all of these guys here. I can select this scale trigger, and just copy paste build helper for all of these. If you don't know what build helper does, it essentially gives these all new groups. So you can see this one's scaling 168, this one's 171, 173, 175, etc. Which is really nice and handy for if you don't want to like manually set all the groups yourself. Yeah, we can see all of those now shift over like that. So yeah, you can see that works super nicely. All right, awesome. And now what we can do is we can take this, copy paste them, don't fade, don't enter on that one, and we should be pretty good for that, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, the whole thing feels a little bit static. So what I might do as well is just select the whole background here as part of this like, oh god, my triggers are so messy. Give me a second. These are our looping pulses we did at the beginning of the episode. I'm gonna add a little bit to this, and I wanna ease in out and move it down by like -20, and that being the whole background. So we can kind of see that, and then that'll be in like 0.3. I'll move it by 40 actually, just so it's easier to loop, so we can move it up by 40 instantly, and you won't actually see that it moves up by 40, right? That's a little bit intense, I'm not gonna lie. I would rather do it 20, but the thing is that if I change both of these to 20, the effect won't be seamless anymore. You can see it resetting. Okay, I think that should all work, right? All right, cool. Well, that is the background done, and I am very happy with that. I think that's a really cool background. I achieved exactly what I wanted to achieve with that, I think. So now I think the last thing that we realistically need to do is we need to come up with a design for these slopes here. Now, this may surprise you, but I'm a little bit worried about these. I'm not exactly 100% sure what I want to do for them. I could just do more of like this slope design and kind of copy it up here, but I don't know. I almost want to do something different, but I don't know if that would look any good. It's scary, man. What if I take all of these slopes here, give them one of the pulsing colors, maybe that one. So you can see it kind of pulses there, and I'll also give it 138, I think. Yeah, so you can kind of see it's on most of the time, but it is still kind of on and off. And then what I want to do is take one of the slopes, maybe this slope again, or maybe not. Maybe I could do something different. Okay, you know what? I know these are for the auto build system, but if you just don't touch them, they do show up in the level, right? They do show up in the level, so you know what? I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna use it. And I'm just going to fill out these structures with these slopes like so, and then I'll do an extra one down there just so it like kind of tapers off. And then I'll give them the same group as these spikes here, 160. So they kind of pulse along with the player, I think. Could be kind of interesting. Yes, but they need a little bit more, I think. Maybe I can take this and then copy paste it down, make the brightness half to thicken it up a little bit perhaps, and then even copy paste it down again and make it like 0.2 just to like really thicken up these structures, right? I think maybe we can get rid of a few of these and add in another structure here perhaps. I think it would also look a lot nicer if, oh, I linked those together. If we bring in another structure here, like another pillar structure. Yeah, so trying to make these slopes look good was kind of an ongoing battle. I did like the pulsing effect, but it still just looked a bit empty. I don't know, it didn't feel like it fit in with the rest of the part at all. So my first step was to add a few structures in there just to have something constantly there so it doesn't feel empty when it's like on the side of the screen. And then when all else fails, glow, yes, slope glow. Shout out to the warp tool again. My beloved. What also doesn't help is that there's no pulses in that part either. This is a realization I had way too many times while recording this video. Yeah, so I added some pulses and it did make it look a hell of a lot nicer. And while that helped a lot, like a lot, it still had that issue where as you were approaching it, it looked really empty. So in the end, I decided to add just some background blending colored slopes that are constantly there and follow the same structure. And honestly, that just solved the problem. Yeah, I think that works really, really nicely. Just some more like interesting and fun colors, you know? Alright, well, even though we haven't quite done this transition here or this transition out, I think I might call it there for today's video because I've been recording for a really long time and I don't have as much time to finish this video because I've been sick for 2 days. But that's alright, I'm super proud of what we managed to get done so far. This is probably like my favorite part in the entire level so far. I don't know, I'm just really, really happy with how this turned out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead, turn no glow on that, and let's start from 0 and do a full showcase of the whole level, shall we? Nice, okay. The drop is definitely like a bit of a different shift in style, but I like it, honestly. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Very goofy drop indeed. I definitely like let loose a lot more with the pulses and stuff, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I think I said that in the first episode. But yeah, hopefully I'm able to keep up the weekly upload schedule with this one. And yeah, really happy with the level, really enjoying building it. And yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to end this one off here. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. Huge thank you to all the members, as always, especially Invdu. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.